Hello there ladies and gentlemen, I'm TX141, but you may call me Paul. Welcome you all to a new instalment of our War Thunder Live series. The series in which I take some planes out in realistic battles and see what kind of shenanigans we can get up to. To quickly introduce this episode, I originally intended to fly the TA-152H1, and upon doing so, I wasn't having much success, or at least to the point of making an entertaining video. Most of my kills were on planes that were either flying incredibly low and were the last planes left on the enemy team and usually in a crippled state. Alternatively, it was a case of me pursuing down the enemy bombers, such as B-17s up at altitudes in excess of 8,000 metres, because I was the only plane capable of doing so. It was added to my rather depressed mood prior to recording, so I decided instead just to start picking planes at random and seeing how well they got on in the realistic mode. And the Yak-9U caught my attention in particular. I have a healthy amount of respect for this plane in arcade, and I decided to see what it could do in realistic. Enjoy. Well, let's give it a crack. This will be the first time I've ever flown the Yak-9U in realistic, as far as I can recall. Ooh. That was stupid. Gonna need every round I avoid to change the fuel. Never mind. My mistake. We're gonna live with it. In fact, this is a good time to learn how to J out. Right. 5 minutes. Now we can go in. Well, I've successfully J'd out of a plane for the first time in realistic. It's an achievement. Oh, I can read all that. No, I can't. Oh, two of them already crashed, or just died. Now the Yak-9U should climb to altitude pretty well, if the history's correct. This plane was reckoned to be one of the finest examples of Yakovlev's engineering, bar the Yak-3. The only thing I worry about is the fact we've got very limited armament, 120 cannon rounds and only 170 machine gun rounds per gun. But we'll make it work. Well, everyone's in 3Ps and 9Ps, and then I'm the lonely little Yak-9U. We'll be alright, no matter what happens. I know in my heart I'll make it out alive. Climbs really nicely, this. No war emergency power either, so this is all just the plane doing the work. It's really nice. Oh. Sorry, shoulders are getting stiff. You're playing enough realistic. I'm just climbing. Now I can contest the enemy planes up at higher altitude, but Yak-9Ps and Yak-3Ps, their battle rate in 4.7 or 5.0, so we could be seeing Griffin Spitfires, or just late Mark 9s, i.e. the LFs. I don't know what we're going to be seeing, to be honest. My water's already overheating, they got that right. The engine had a capacity for overheating if run at full power. Indeed being useless after only 3 flights. Okay, level out. Looks like I'm on a team full of Russians, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to communicate with them. I'm just the poor Brit who forgot to bring a spit. Building speed really fast. It looks like our Yak-9U in the middle of it. Remember, at any point we can just break away. We're as fast as them. That Spitfire's had to come up, so if I go over the top, he shouldn't be able to get on my 6 too easily. Now if I cut my engine, I want to get away from there, there's a lot incoming. Yeah, be careful about wing rip. Pulling distance on that one nicely. Okay, cut engine and begin the turn. Gently. Now full power. And we come around. Missed. Got one. Spending a little bit too much ammunition to do it, but we got a kill and we know how to beat them now. Okay, up and over. They have got no energy, these guys. That's what I'm assuming anyway. But supposedly these Spitfires have. Hey, my teammate's got them for me. Whee! Did the right thing. And I outmaneuvered them technically as well, because I actually got them onto a stall. Couldn't quite convert it. Perhaps I should have used my flaps. Hey, we're learning. We're taking more risks, which means we're getting better. There we go. And up. I'm quite proud of that shot. There's two left. One of them's in that P51, and the other, nobody knows. Oh, good game. 2 kills in a plane I haven't flown in realistic before. Bit of a tight situation with those Spitfires. Could I have done anything better there? I could have been a little bit sharper on my pull-up, to be honest. I gave them too much room to build up acceleration. That's the mistake I made. But still. Beautiful plane, this. Really nice. Okay, Operation Uranus. And this time we'll spawn in with the fuel load we want and the setup we want, and we won't have to fire ammunition and then reload on the airfield, which means we can get into the fight. So we're going to be up against the Germans, because this is not alternative history. which means this is going to be tough. Much more spacious cockpit than with the Yak-1. Much more spacious. I'm taking a bit more of a proactive approach. I'm heading towards the centre of the map. Because one thing I've noticed in realistic, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a question I'd like to issue to all those of you who are viewers, all flack, who play realistic more often than, say, arcade or that. Why is it everybody goes to the centre of the map straight at the start of the game, even when they are flying planes which are made for high altitude? Now, I'm going to the centre here because A, I want to see what I'm going up against, and B, I'm not rushing to get kills, but I like to put a little bit of pressure on early. Is it the pressure factor? You want to put pressure on your opponents? Is it you just want to get into the mix of things and try and drag everyone down a low altitude, which I can understand? Or is it just, like arcade, it's just a lack of patience perhaps? I'm just interested to hear your thoughts. Again, I won't judge. I do my best never to judge. That flak is nasty. 15 degrees. The other question I have is, why is the RB community so hostile at times? I mean, you'll be flying along, have people just randomly team kill you because you killed one more plane than them for no apparent reason. And not necessarily at the end of the game as well. It might be when the game is literally being contested. I'm just curious as to why the RB community can be very grim at times. Again, I'm not judging individuals, I'd just like to know, to be honest, because I've seen it in arcade, but it just, from flying a bit realistic recently, it just feels as though the RB community takes the hostility to a whole new level. But on a bright note, when my voice isn't going, I've got some good altitude now. I shouldn't keep bringing up the map because it disorientates myself, and indeed it's pretty irritating for you, the viewer. Okay. The enemy will be coming from the northwest direction. I'd say our P-63's been hit. Either that or they're just blind contours out the back for a Jolly or P-47. Has he got a support fighter? No. We're going to garf at an angle. That was close. Again, I'm taking more risks now. I feel more confident in my abilities in realistic. P-47's going for the dive. I will not pursue. I'm not fast enough, and I do not have the ability to dive like the P-47 does. Although from what I've heard, the Yak-3P in particular has some very interesting flight model characteristics at the moment. Or at least that's one of the #1 threads on the forum. I should stay away from the forum, to be honest. Okay, we've got a 109 coming for the tit for tat. Do I want to engage? He's got someone with him. Can I afford the engagement? Give it a go. Critical hit on his right wing, I'll take it. Ooh, and there goes my my left wing. Ooh, nasty that was. It's alright. Just tap me in the clouds. I haven't developed my X-ray vision yet. A little bit too much. And I've got no controllability on one side. I'm going to go for the deck. No, 109's broken off. I'm slightly crippled then. What can I do? I can try and be useful. I've got to be careful with this wing. It's listing very heavily on one side whenever I try and manoeuvre it. No, it won't roll the other way because the aileron is completely gone on that side of the plane. Which means if I try and do a loop, the plane will become incredibly unbalanced. Imbalanced, I should say. Yeah, I'm having to fight the aileron on the other way. It's alright, so the plane's not very good when it gets hit. We're doing our job though, we're being a harassing unit. And this 109, if he wants to head-to-head, I'm going to have to roll on the right. He might. No, I just haven't got enough in the plane. It's this silly issue I've got. Again, I caused it because I took the hit. But it's just holding me back. Come on, roll. Getting some good hits. Got him! Alright, let's get down there. We've still got more work to do. If I get one more, I'm a Yak-9U ace. And I'll wear that badge with pride until I quit War Thunder. Careful. Another one. Looks a bit crippled, but it's a kill. And it's one more eliminated from the match. Come on plane, roll out. Got to keep this 109 underneath us. If they're given the opportunity to rise, we are in trouble. Right. Don't overspeed. Yes! Come on, burn out. Please. Please. Go on. Please. Come on. Come on. Yes. Oh. It's not an ace in a day. Unfortunately, it's not an ace in a day. It's good enough. And with a handicapped wing. And I got an assist on the one from earlier. This means as much as an ace. This really does. I really haven't been feeling well for the last couple of days. This is just cheering me up. It's really cheering me up, this. Oh, I didn't get 4. Sorry, I'm being a complete idiot. Sorry, I got 3, not 4. I got my ace. So what did I shoot down? I'm thinking I got 4. So I took off the wing of that guy. I shot down the G2. I caused him to disintegrate. Yeah, I got 3. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I really. No, I am thinking 3. I'm being an idiot. I'm thinking the first guy I went head to head with was the 4th. Okay, now to finish off, it's alternate history, and it's Berlin, so it's most likely America. Oh, that small spit of land off the edge of Europe. You know the one I'm on about. Oh, I'm having a real good laugh with this plane. It has been absolutely phenomenal. I never expected I would enjoy this plane so much. Again, we're going to take the same approach as in the last 2 games, which is to pretty much take the initiative early on. The plane climbs really nicely. It can get to altitude quite well. And I guess that's why I enjoy realistic so much. I love arcade as well. I enjoy both game modes. Arcade because that's the thing I feel I'm good at. I wouldn't say I'm great at arcade. I wouldn't say I'm up there in the league of the greats. I really wouldn't. And that's not just me trying to put myself down. I make too many mistakes. Oh wait, I could do a lot better if I really focused myself to that point. But arcade for me is my thing, if we should say, and then realistic is the thing I can take realistic seriously, but I try not to as much as I do arcade, and perhaps it shows because I'm just very laissez-faire some days, very conservative. Just in a way, I'm applying how I play arcade to realistic. That's what I'm doing. And obviously with the limitations of flight models being a little bit more, well, non-bouncy, shall we say, and energy retention being sensible. On most planes. See there in the chat about the Yak-9U. I don't know, I haven't flown the Yak-9U recently, about a comment on it, and I've been up against it and I haven't seen anything crazy. I'm probably looking through rose tinted glasses anyway. Sorry. Alright, I'm starting to see some dots. Corsair. There's quite an engagement brewing up. Right, that Yak-9 is going for the Corsair. I don't want to get involved because there's too many planes going after one target. It's the one thing I'm learning. If you see more than 2 friendlies on a guy, you leave him alone, 'cause usually that's enough. Or P51, that's going to be a D. Oh goodness, there's P51s everywhere. Got him. Typhoon will not have the energy to do it. But eyes open at all times, Johnny. Right, that P-51 pilot behind me will... Ah, they're going for the group. Now that's unexpected in my book. But at the same time... Okay, right, I see what's going to happen, right. A lot of our team are starting to rip their planes. Now in the long haul, the P-51 will catch me. But if possible, I want to drag this dogfight away. I want to try and get them by themselves if needs be, and they don't want to play ball. Smart pilot. And the thing is, I've had people ask, why do I sort of narrate sometimes when I play live for you. I'm trying to give you an idea of what I'm thinking my opponent's thinking, and it's something I'm doing all the time in arcade. When I'm recording footage, I will be talking to myself. A, so I know what the plane handles like, and B, because I'm trying to get in the mind of the guy who I'm going after. Because once you've got your opponent psychologically locked in, you got a 99% confidence level that you know what he will do in a given circumstance. That's when you go from a moderate player to a very good player, and I've found with some of the best pilots I've gone up against, they've been able to crack me. And I have some weaknesses. I'm not going to go into them. You have to find them out if you bump into me in arcade, or even in realistic, but more in arcade. I have some very big weaknesses. If you want one of my weaknesses, actually, and I'm happy to actually not dispel, reveal it, is I'm always about altitude and energy. If I don't have them both, you won't see me engage, unless I feel really confident in myself at a point. Now the P-51s have dropped altitude, which means we are now on an equal playing field. Of course, I can't drop my altitude any further, because to do so puts my plane at risk of rip. I can do this now because I've cut my speed down enough. There is a Wellington flying around somewhere. One. And now the Wellington. Careful though. Now you'll have to excuse me, I'm not going to lose my temper, but that is an example of the bad manners that I have found. Arcade players do it as well, but the bad manners I have found with people in realistic mode. I'm not going to call the person's name out. We've all seen who the player is. It's unfortunate, I thought I could have gone for 4, realising that P-47's here, but again, I've witnessed it multiple times. You've seen it in my War Thunder Live videos a number of times, players doing it. People want to do it, they can do it. Just let I know why. I can get on the back of you. Don't hit my teammate though. Got him. When he lifts left, I've got him. There he goes. So that's another 3. That makes it 8 kills in 3 games and 3 flyouts, no deaths, with 2 assists on top. This has been so much fun. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to bring this to you tonight, and in a way I've cheered myself up immensely in doing it. I didn't realise how much fun the Yak-9U can be in realistic mode, and indeed it can take the fight to the majority of things it can see at its battle rating. I respect the aircraft in arcade, and now I've got a real respect for it in RP. I'll definitely be flying it a lot more, and I strongly recommend you give it a go too if you have the opportunity to do so. But as always, unfortunately that is the end of the video, and so if you have enjoyed the video, why not leave a like, comment or subscribe for future War Thunder live episodes on my channel involving realistic gameplay. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care and good luck in the sky.